This is just going to be a quick video, just an update from the whiny baby person video yesterday. So what we found out was that this bracket will still work because this bracket is for automatic transmissions with kickdown cable. Mine doesn't have a kickdown cable. So what we're assuming is that this mysterious vacuum line over here, which obviously wasn't this long before I ripped the old one off, so I just put this on here as a placeholder, that goes the transmission, and we think that the kickdown is probably vacuum actuated, so that'll just have to be teed into the new vacuum distribution block, and I can still use this bracket, so I won't have to move those AC lines that are down there. I can put that back on, and then I can put the throttle body back on, get the throttle cable ran, and get the intake on, which I did actually figure something out. So the instructions, this is one of the problems with them. So here's your instructions on how to do the air filter, okay? Tube, MAF, filter. Now obviously I don't have a MAF because a MAF is for the newer cars. I have this behemoth. So what you do, there's this big block off plate which mounts somewhere in that general area, which is why the cruise control has a relocation bracket, which I say I have to figure that out. I haven't looked into it at all, but it's probably not that difficult. So I have to take the cruise control off and then put that whole intake thing there, and then the tube runs over the top of the engine and goes into the thing. Like I said, I am going to look into maybe having it route a different way, but there isn't any room down there, so I think it's just going to have to go that way. Otherwise, it would have to come like underneath, up front, and then like run across the tops of the fans, and then over there. Which I don't know. I mean, I might be able to do that at some point later, but I don't have enough hose to do it. You can see down here there's that amount of it, and you'd need more because you'd have to go like down, around, and then up and over and back and whatever. It'd be like 200 feet of tube, so I'm not gonna do that right now. But so this is how this is set up, which doesn't obviously do anything for my car. So what you actually do is you have this thing with a tube in it, and that's where the that comes from. I don't remember what that's called because I'm being dumb right now, but that goes to this, and then it also tees off to the idle air control, I believe. I got some more concise instructions from the guy in an email yesterday, so when I go to do that, I will figure out. So then you have this reducer. That reducer goes into the AFM, and then the AFM bolts to this thing, and then the cone filter fits right on there. And then it sits inside this nice little insulated area so that it doesn't pull hot air out of the engine. And it's also, since it sits right there, you kind of get air from behind the headlight. If the headlight's open, you get air sucking in there and going down, so that'll be good. It's kind of too bad that I can't use my old setup. You know, I drilled that hole and I put that thing in there, but you know, that's how it works. It's okay. That'll allow more cool air into the engine bay or something. Who knows? Maybe put a computer fan in there or something and have it push air out. But that bolts to somewhere, and then that I think bolts to the bracket the cruise control is currently on. That's why I have to move it. There's stuff in this box. Oh yeah, see that paper right there and that bracket right there. So that's the cruise control relocation. That has its own separate instruction booklet. That's the relocation bracket right there. So that's all good. Now, the one thing I didn't mention yesterday, this video is already 200 times longer than I expected it to be because there's barely any content in it. But that pulley down there, the 108 or 115 mil pulley is too big. They meant to send a 105. So unfortunately, they don't have any in stock. They just sent some out to get anodized, so I'll have that in a few days, but I'm not going to be done with this anyway. And the other thing I'm going to have to probably try to do is this fitting. I don't think it has any thread sealant on it. I think I mentioned that before. I think I'm going to have to try to get it out of here. And the problem is, because it's at this angle, as it rotates, this hits the supercharger. And this bolt is not really accessible by anything. So I'm going to see if there's a way to get this out. Worst case scenario, if I can, I might just trim one of the barbs off, make it shorter, and then probably just get a new one of these. They're not that hard to get. I can get one from Advance. Well, no, because then I can't thread the new one on because it'll hit the supercharger again. So I might just have to find a way to loosen that bolt by probably taking an Allen wrench, which it almost fits in there. So I could probably shave, a little bit off the end of it, make it shorter, and then it would probably fit in there. Because the only other way to do it would be to remove the supercharger from the plate, and it's RTV'd on there. Some of the bolts are really hard to get to, so that is not going to happen. Plus, if I ever need to change the injectors or anything, I'm going to need to be able to remove the fuel rail anyway. And I think there's So, okay, and I found my Phillips head screwdriver. It was over there. I don't know why. Whatever. This video is somehow 6.5 minutes, it will be by the time I'm done. So that's it. Horribly long update video for no reason. Goodbye.